What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful week so far. So I am actually in Los Angeles and today's video is going to be taking place in my apartment in West Hollywood, California. I'm taking a little trip out here. This is actually where I used to live before I moved to Arizona and before I started my real estate channel right here. I just wanted to talk about the differences of what you can get in Los Angeles, California compared to something in Arizona. I obviously have my house out in Arizona and then I have a leased apartment that I'm actually in right now. So I want to break down some of the numbers for you guys, how much we pay for a 650 square foot apartment in the center of West Hollywood, California, and then give you guys a full apartment tour as well. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video. If you guys did enjoy, I would really appreciate it if you guys dropped a like. So I'm gonna start at the front door, guys, and walk you guys through every single thing. This is probably gonna be a fairly quick tour just because it's such a small apartment. It's 650 square feet exactly. It doesn't have central cooling, so we actually have a wall unit built in here. We are paying just over $1,900 a month for this. It is a really good location. Keep that in mind for those of you guys that are familiar with Los Angeles, on Sunset and La Brea essentially. So we walk into the living room, which is a fairly small section right here. We couldn't really fit a dining room table in here, if you guys can tell right away. We were thinking about putting a dining room table right there, but we'd rather just have the free space. So we really had to utilize the space as best as possible just because there wasn't a whole lot of storage space whatsoever. The kitchen's right here. We got a little breakfast countertop, but in order for me to put my desk in there, we actually had to shove it in the corner, so we actually don't even utilize this whatsoever just because my desk is in the way. We got a little like coffee bar right here with the coffee. And then everything in the kitchen, or everything in general, is really rent proof. I really like how the management at this building renovated everything. It's super rent proof, and what I mean by that is there's not a lot of things that can break, scratch, or you can really damage whatsoever. Super simple countertops, a darker gray so they don't stain, or if it does stain, it's not as noticeable. Obviously a stainless steel sink, and my favorite part about this is the cabinets. They actually, I don't even know if they painted these. I think they just got white cabinets, so this is a lot better because they don't scratch at all. Stainless steel appliances as well. The one thing that I really like at my specific rental properties, and I think moving forward whenever I do get new rentals, is I will always go with an electric stove just because it's way easier to maintain for not only my tenants but for myself. It's easy to clean and it's a lot more indestructible, I'd say. I've had a lot of problems with like my tenants spilling water on the gas stove and I had to call someone in because they had no idea what was happening with it. This is more at my student rentals, keep in mind. But electric stoves, usually just a flat surface and you can easily clean it. It's just a lot more tenant proof, I would say. With gas stoves, a lot more can go wrong. Yeah, it may cook a little better. Yeah, they may prefer a gas stove, but in my rental properties, I think I'm always gonna lean towards all electric stove. We got a built-in microwave here. And then we are going to transition into the only other room in the entire apartment, which is the bedroom right here. New carpet. They did a really good job on this. Like I said, they went with a darker carpet on here so it can last. I would say maybe you can probably get like a tenant or two before you actually have to replace the carpet. This is such a small area. Keep in mind, to replace all this is probably about $350 to $400, so it's not that big of a deal at all. Everything is white as well, so it's just really easy to cover up and paint. One thing I did notice that they didn't do, that's not a huge deal to me, but I know a lot of people, a lot of like flippers and stuff, prefer not to have popcorn ceilings. But if you guys can look closely, they did leave the popcorn ceilings. The only spot that they scraped it was right here in the kitchen, and you guys can see the difference right there. A lot of people prefer the flat surface. It just looks a little bit better. The reason why they do popcorn ceilings is because it hides a lot of the imperfections a lot easier. It's not a flat surface, so the imperfections in the ceiling and the transitions you can't really see as much. If I bought a rental like that, I really don't know. I don't know if I'd scrape them off or not. It's it's a lot of money, I heard, to scrape off popcorn ceilings. If I were to flip a house, then I would definitely spend the extra money and get rid of those ceilings. But we got the single vanity sink right here, a lot of counter space, same sort of thing right here. Super simple countertops. Another thing that I really like that they did is they put this little 5-6 inch lip right here. This is very, not only it looks good, but it's very practical as well in a rental property, just because it not only prevents water damage, but it just protects the walls as well for whatever goes on the countertop. They won't put dents in it. So I really like that, how they did that. I prefer doing this at my rentals as well. When I do renovate one of my rental properties, I will most likely put that. And then the final thing is the bathroom. So one thing that I actually did want to talk about is, if you guys notice, whenever you flick a light on, the fan goes on with it. So that's one thing that I always suggest at a rental property, specifically in a small room like this in your bathroom, is always connect the fan to the light, because most of the time your tenant isn't going to take the effort to turn on the fan when they shower or after they shower, and that will cause mold. So connecting both of these, where it kind of forces your vent to go on when the light goes on, helps a lot. It will just prevent mold from appearing a lot faster, so that will really help. A little cheat code right there that I actually learned from one of my YouTubers that I watch, Graham Stephan. And that is pretty much a full tour, guys, so I hope you guys were able to learn a little bit here. I just wanted to take the last couple minutes of this video and talk about the actual price differences. So all in, every single month with this property, we are about $1,950. Keep in mind, in Los Angeles area, parking is very, very limited, so we actually had to pay an extra $50 a month in order for both of us to fit our cars in the garage downstairs. So we're at $1,900 with rent, and then we're at $1,950 altogether with that parking spot. Now, my mortgage at my biggest property in Arizona, the 2,000 square foot, 2-story house, is just under $1,400 a month. So if I were to pick up everything and move right away to Arizona into my property, I'd be saving about $500 a month. Keep in mind, the utility bill at an actual 2,000 square foot, 2-story house is going to be a lot more than a 650 square foot apartment. So that's something that you want to keep in mind as well. If you guys are maybe transitioning from a smaller apartment into a house, your utility bills will most likely go with the square footage. That's it, guys. I just wanted to make a video comparing two different price points in two different states and two different cities. Obviously, Los Angeles is one of the most expensive cities to live in, not only for actually housing, but just taxes and just overall cost of living here is very, very expensive compared to somewhere like Arizona, which honestly right now Arizona is starting to creep up in price. Even I've noticed it a little bit, mainly because I'm a real estate agent, and the demand for houses in Arizona is absolutely insane right now. So I have noticed that it's slowly starting to creep up, but not anywhere near Los Angeles, especially for housing prices. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully this video turned out good, and hopefully there was some educational content in here. I always try to make these videos as educational as possible. If you guys do have any questions, or if I didn't miss anything, or if you guys want clarification on anything, you guys can always message me, email me, or comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video, and be sure to drop a like.